our special radio phone interview guest today, which is going to be Miss Rebecca Rae with First Veterans Kids Care .org. Rebecca, welcome.
Yes, yes, thank you, Princess, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. I really enjoyed the story you just shared. It is very true that we are all on our own path, and we're waiting to get to the station. Some of us are able to accomplish a whole lot more in our lives than other people, and that's a blessing in itself. I do think that some of the blessings that we're waiting to see and waiting to find at the end of that ride, actually we can create and make ourselves here on Earth. I'm reading a book right now, and that made me think of it. There's a gentleman, he's a neurosurgeon.
Hmm.
His name is Eben Alexander, and he
Okay.
had an after-death experience a couple years ago. And he has written this book, and he's talking about the amazing things he saw once he was able to pass over to the other side and come back. He was in a coma for 7 days. And it's
Right.
just absolutely amazing how he talks about God and Christ and what he was able to see and bring back and share now with us. I'm
Ye-
joking. I'm sitting in the wind right now. I hope you can hear me.
yes, I can hear you real good.
Great. But
Yes.
it's just an amazing tribute to what we're in for. And I'm anxious to get there as much as everyone else. So we have a lot to do until that train stops. So
That's right. While we're just passing through, waiting for that train to stop at our destination. Well, I'm glad
right.
that you enjoyed it, Rebecca. And I am
Yes.
so glad that you were able to call in today and just share some airtime with me today to tell me about First Veterans Kids Care, about that organization. And I'm just, just after meeting you maybe a few weeks ago. So now you're able to call in today. And I want you to introduce to the audience who you are again and just tell them about First Veterans Kids Care, what you all are doing over there at that organization.
Right. Well, myself, I have a small uh, thing to actually celebrate today. Today, I clicked submit and submitted my last paper for college. I just finished my Bachelor's of Science degree for Organizational Management, so I'm in a celebratory mood today.
All right.
It's been a long ride, but it
Congratulations.
just proves we can all do anything after the age of 50, so I feel real good
Yes.
about it.
Yes.
Um, so I have been chosen in the last couple of days now to actually be the executive director. I know that's news to you, Princess, but it is just as shocking to me. I have risen from events coordinator to now the director of the organization, so I'm very excited about that. We have a lot of goals ahead of us, but I'd kind of like to give you a little bit of a scenario of how we got started.
All righty.
Um, it actually goes back several years. Anton Cardinal is a young man. He's in the ROTC, and he will be graduating from Winter Haven High School soon. And it actually started with him. When he was about 9 or 10 years old, his allowance started disappearing, and his dad was wondering, where is all your money going? Well, finally, Anton confessed that he had been giving money to a charity at school for food for children, and he spent all of his allowance on it, and then was even trying to sell things to get more money for these kids who needed to eat. And come to find out, he'd been giving his lunch money and some of his lunch food to children at school because he realized they weren't eating at school.
Okay.
So, it's just an amazing story to me. So when his father understood all this, what his son had really been up to for the last several months, he said, I can't just let this stop. I've got to do something with this. I can't just let this go unnoticed. So his father ended up forming a 501c3. It is First Veterans Kids Care, Inc., and it was founded a couple of years ago in 2009. And he has been slowly but surely trying to put the pieces together and find people to more or less put on that train and get it going in the right direction. And we're gathering speed right now. We're happy to say we've got a pretty good executive board and board of directors, and we have accomplished a pretty good list of goals we want to see happen within the next month to 6 months to 12 months out. Those include things like we have a credit card now that we have available for people, not just veterans, but anyone who wants to apply for this credit card, and it's a refillable credit card. We have that up and running as of next week. We
Credit
are opening
card.
a
Okay.
charter
Good.
school
Okay.
probably in 2013. The
Hmm.
charter school will be in the Orlando area, and half of the charter school will be for um, the youth who have not completed their graduation, and we're helping them get their GED. But the other side of it is we're teaching them life skills. So when they do leave the school, they have a life skill, and they can go out into the market and actually look for a job with some experience behind them. Another part of the charter school will be also to help train vets and get them back into the work environment as well. So that is kind of a 2 or 3 prong approach to helping the community, and we will be welcoming vets from all over the state as we start growing that school. We're looking at a piece of property in South Orlando as we speak. Another one of the things we do is we actually focus on the children of our military vets. It is kind of our niche. And in that regard, we provide food, clothing, shoes, health counseling if they need it, educational supplies like backpacks. And then this year we're trying to do a toy drive in the Central Florida area and raising awareness, taking donations for our toy drive. And we will be doing that on the east side of Orlando the 3rd week of December, distributing those toys to the parents of some of the children. And that is a pretty quick overview, really, of what we do. And, in fact, we're actually going to be at a really, really nice event coming up next week. It's the annual Turkey Run, and we're excited about that. That will be held at the Daytona Raceway, Daytona International. It's an annual car event, and there are a lot of veterans-related nonprofit groups featured because it's Veterans Month. And we will be honored, and there will be an activity on Saturday, I believe it's 11 to 1 or 12 to 2. It's one of those blocks of time where there's an actual salute program to the veterans of the United States, to the military of the United States. So we will be there for 3 or 4 days straight, and looking forward to meeting a lot of people and gathering a little more awareness on that side of the state.
Okay, Rebecca, how many families do you generally service during the holiday season? I guess Thanksgiving and Christmas or whatever. How many families do you reach and touch, during this period?
Well, this year that number has not been given to us yet. We're actually soliciting for names from local churches, from the VA, from the food bank, from different organizations, and really we're hoping to get several hundred people. People are reaching out from several different areas right now, and we're starting to just put the information together. It seems like it's late notice to be doing all this, but this is how things seem to happen at the last minute most of the time.
Yes.
But we're looking to help a couple of hundred families if we can. That is our goal.
Praise God. That would be a blessing. And it's just generally the veterans' families. Is that correct? Veterans and their children?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now,
yes.
we are actually going to reach out beyond just veterans and their children. We've already actually started to do that in the Orlando area. There's a neighborhood called Holden Heights, and it starts out as a very sad story. There were 3 youth shot and killed in that area within a block right there on Rio Grande and 29th Street. And I got the phone call the week before May 1st by a friend of ours who was also beaten up and basically left for dead. He was put in critical condition in the hospital and was calling me from the hospital when he told me what had been happening in this neighborhood. And my heart just stopped. And excuse me. And so I knew that we had to do something.
Yes.
So first, we got together with some of the local people and a gas station, Right Fuel, on the corner. He donated a little piece of property, and we have turned it into a park. We're turning it into a safe zone for Holden Heights. And we have talked with the sheriff, met with the sheriff's department and the police and some of the community leaders, including the commissioner, who helped kick off the park event. And they have upped the security. They drive by much more often. They're watching the crime. They actually even did a raid of a piece of property right next to the park, and they were able to arrest some drug dealers in the area. So they're working with us to clean that up. We had to actually level the area off because it was a lot of broken glass and metal and bottle caps and trash. We had a company come in, and they did all that for us. We created a mural in memory of Tara Dyer, who was the young lady that impressed me so deeply when I found out she was murdered right there. She was 18 years old, coming home from the store, and was shot in the face and murdered on the spot. So
Oh,
we had actually created a memorial to Tara Dyer and the other children, and Walmart has come together with us, and they've contributed some playground equipment. And now we're just working to put in some LED lighting and a new gate for the park so that we have a way to open and close it securely so the children of the area can start to use that. We're also going to be looking for some donations for benches and a couple of trees for some shade. So
okay.
that is one of the other types of things that we have actually come together, and, you know, it's in progress. It's a work in progress, but it's delightful to drive by there now and see that it's a nice, clean, mowed area with equipment and bright-colored mural in the background. So it's heartwarming, and we're excited to do more projects like that, you know, in different areas across the state as we move forward.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening to you, and I know that some of the families you've been helping are in the Orlando area. Are there any families that you're assisting in the Hillsborough, Pinellas County area? Do some of your reach out and touch services that you're trying to make a difference in? Are they here in Pinellas or either Tampa area?
I heard part of what you said, Princess. We've got a little bit of a
That's okay.
bad
I don't.
connection.
Let me repeat it again. Some of the
Okay.
families that you're assisting, are any of them in the Tampa area or St. Petersburg area?
Oh, great question. Yes. Unfortunately, no. That is one of the reasons that we are really looking forward to building our relationship with you and your listeners, because that is exactly where our next footsteps will take us. We want to go over to the coast. We want to be heavily involved in the Tampa, Ybor area. We've got some interest coming from Sarasota that we're responding to as well. But yes, we definitely want to get some grassroots volunteers going in your area, and that is one of the reasons that I am on the radio today. If there's anyone who is interested in working with an organization like ours who helps the children of our military vets, please have them call into you or, you know, contact you via the internet, and I would love to get back with those people and just see what kind of volunteer they would like to become, how they can see themselves in the organization. So that is definitely one of the things we are aiming to eventually have a great handle on in that area.
Okay. Well, I also want you to go ahead and share your contact information in case
Yes.
someone wants to contact you today.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and share I guess, your website information or your email and your phone number, something that they can at least, while they're listening, get pen and paper and go ahead and write down so they can reach you today. So we want to give everybody just a second or two to find a pen and paper and go ahead and you can share your contact information.
Great.
All right.
Now, on our website, there is quite a bit of information, and we are actually in the process of adding a lot more information. You'll see more pictures going up of some of the recent events that we've been involved with in Central Florida. One of them is recently we were a featured nonprofit at the Baldwin Park First Fridays event, which was a tremendous turnout for that. There were a lot of people who stopped by, and an incredible evening we had there. It was about a 3 or 4 hour event. And last week we were invited to the Rotarian to Rotarian event in Orlando, which, to our surprise, there were 34 Rotary clubs at that event, and we touched base with probably 2/3 of those groups, and they were all very interested in what we had to offer as well. So we are gaining some very good awareness in the Central Florida area, people who hadn't heard of us before, and the phone is starting to ring, and that's exciting to me.
Okay. Well,
If it's
Rebecca.
okay, I'll start out with our website information.
Yeah, well, Rebecca, we're ready. Go ahead and give us your contact information.
Okay, it's www first, and that's the number 1 ST Veterans Kids Care.org.
Okay, for the audience, that's firstveteranskidscare.org, O-R-G. Okay, and that's your website.
Right.
Contact phone number?
The best phone number to use after this radio conversation would be mine, actually. So I'm going to give you my cell phone number, and that's a direct line right to me. The number is 407-312-3696.
Okay, thank you. Oh, would you repeat that again?
It's 407
Mm-hmm.
312 3696.
Okay. Now, Rebecca, we have about a minute or two before the end of the program. Any closing remarks that you like to leave with the audience before we end this interview today?
Well, I just want to say thank you for, first of all, for considering us to come on and talk with you and to share what we do. We all have a passion in this group for helping the children. We feel like there are a lot of children who are stumbling through school right now, who are the children of our military vets.
Mm-hmm.
Their grades are not as good as the normal public school grade children are, and that is because they're dealing with stresses and emotions that the normal child is not dealing with. And so that's one of the reasons that we feel passionate about helping those children in any way we can, and give them some of the support and strength that they may not be getting elsewhere. So I just want to thank you for all of this, for the conversation, and I would like to put my email out there if anyone's interested, and it would be Rebecca at firstveteranskidscare.org.
All righty, we got that. Rebecca at firstveteranskidscare.org. Well,
Right.
Rebecca, I thank you today for calling in with this phone interview for firstveteranskidscare.org. I want to send my best to Anthony and Leon and David. It was nice meeting those guys when I met with you all a few weeks ago. And we do look forward to doing great things together in 2013.
I
So,
think that's I think that's a very good possibility right there. Thank you so much, Princess, and have a wonderful weekend.
well, be blessed and have a God-filled day and have a happy Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh,
All
you
right?
too, and everybody listening. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Bye bye.